Yo, yo, yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie Tony Fusco Show.
Yo, yo,
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
Huge show today. You know, last week we sat here and boldly said, didn't we, Tony? We said, don't fall for the media cover-up. Super Bowl 57 is far from over. Don't go crowning the Chiefs.
Yeah. We're just getting started.
We said the truth is going to come out about what really happened. And sure enough, Tony, now you see.
Here we are.
Yeah, you see all these other major media outlets starting to follow our lead here, as they tend to do always. Yeah, and a huge story just came out of ESPN revealing new details which further throw the outcome of the Super Bowl into question.
Yep. Wipe the slate clean. We're only in the first quarter here.
Yeah, soon there'll be the congressional hearing, the lawsuits. You'll see it's all coming, people. Anyway, don't worry. We're also going to get into the breaking news out of the NBA. LeBron James injured, or so he says. You know,
we're going to expose that story too.
Exactly. But first, right now, we continue our special investigative coverage of Super Bowl 57 in this Fusco special report.
Special report.
People, just when you thought the result of the Super Bowl couldn't get any more suspicious, now a brave whistleblower is speaking up. The most trusted authority of Super Bowl integrity. Of course, I'm talking about a name we all know, legendary groundskeeper George Toma, who supervised the field, as you all know, for every single Super Bowl, known to us all as the Sod Father. He has boldly come out and said the field for Super Bowl 57 was, quote, overwatered.
I knew it. We all knew it looking at the field. We all knew it.
Which made the field too slippery to play on. And he said it wasn't sanded properly. A clear case of gardening malpractice. Now, this story is sending shockwaves through the league and also the entire landscaping community. And that's why today we are doing special coverage of this scandal. You thought Watergate was big. This is OverwaterGate.
OverwaterGate, the Super Bowl cover-up.
Now, before we get into the details here, we do want to tell you we did reach out and invite Commissioner Goodell on the show. No response.
Who didn't respond.
Yeah, exactly. And we did reach out to several people in the league and league offices.
What are they hiding?
All of them too chicken to come on. One person did say yes, probably because he wants exposure or something.
Yeah, of course.
We didn't want to have him on the show again because he was terrible last time, but he was at Super Bowl 57. So he might have some
insight into what's going on.
Yeah, he might have some insight as to what happened there. Unlike our guest last week, Eric Eager, Chiefs homer.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd. Anyway, his name's Arash Markazi, and he actually took a photo of the field for the Super Bowl days before they played.
But what happened to that photo?
Suddenly, it's deleted. It's nowhere to be found. So we're going to find out what he's trying to hide there. But first, let's dig deeper into this troubling story. You know, in case you haven't been following it as closely as we have, which you should be, a war of words has broken out between George Toma and his underling, NFL field director, Ed Mangan. Now, according to ESPN, Toma claimed that Mangan, quote, didn't do shit when it came to sanding the field prior to the game. Yeah, Toma said about Mangan and how he handled the grass, quote, he waters the hell out of it and puts it right into the stadium, and that's it. Never sees sunlight again. He can't do that.
Incredible.
And then Toma also alleged that the field had a rotten smell.
Yeah, something definitely smells rotten, all right.
Yeah, Toma said, quote, he sanded it 2 weeks too late. He had only one sanding.
Unbelievable.
He should have had 2 or 3 sandings.
At least.
But he didn't do shit. And that was it.
Wow.
And not only that, he didn't take care of it. He wouldn't listen to anybody. Tony, your reaction.
What was the first thing I said when we were watching the game?
They didn't sand the field properly.
Yep, exactly. Yep. I could tell right away. Anybody who knows anything knows you have to sand the field several times. And you could tell when the Eagles started slipping all over the place and then Jalen Hurts fumbled, that was the result of the field being not properly sanded. As they say in the world of groundskeeping, if the grass is too wet, then you must forfeit.
So well put, Tony. And there had been extensive coverage of this Super Bowl grass in the days leading up to the game. ESPN, this is true. They actually had a whole article on it, which at the time seemed like a terrible content strategy. But now it actually seems Pulitzer worthy.
Exactly.
Apparently, what it says in this article is that the grass for the Super Bowl is typically grown in Alabama, Georgia, California, where, grass grows.
Yeah, exactly.
This year, for some batshit reason, they decided to grow it in Phoenix.
Makes no sense.
Who the hell tries to grow grass in a desert?
I'll tell you who. That clown, Ed Mangan.
Yup. But it doesn't even stop there, Tony, because this grass for the Super Bowl, this wasn't like your typical grass you find out, in Home Depot or whatever.
No.
The grass was actually developed in some kind of scientific laboratory. This is true, people.
Wow.
By a guy named Yankee Wu. And he's apparently a professor at Oklahoma State University.
Wow.
Tony, tell me, which
Incredible.
NFL team is closest to Oklahoma State University?
I know who. That would be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yup.
This has collusion written all over it. The Chiefs knew the Eagles were a run-first team and that a slippery field would give them a huge advantage. If there's anything that's slippery, it's the Chiefs, who clearly worked with Yankee Wu and Ed Mangan and a team of laboratory grass scientists to undermine the Eagles.
Absolutely reeks of corruption. And this brings us back to the petition we launched last week on this show to tell the NFL to declare no winner for Super Bowl 57. And the petition has been online at change.org. So let's check in right now. Jay, how many hundreds of thousands of signatures are we up to now?
You only have 197 signatures total.
That's not even possible. I had over 2,000 text messages from our fans saying, just signed it.
He clearly can't read numbers. Or you know what that is? That's the algorithm hiding the truth. It hides the truth,
There you go.
people.
Makes sense.
Don't let them do that to you.
What are they covering up? There you go.
Stand up for what's right and go to change.org now. You can click the
Sign
link
the petition.
The
Keep
description
signing
of this
it.
podcast.
Don't worry about the
Click
algorithm.
that link. Let's get this fixed. Anyway, let's just move on to a big story out of the NBA, I guess. LeBron James injured, out for at least a few weeks with a foot injury. Now, there are so many strange parts to this story too, Tony. First, when the news broke, the ESPN headline read, and I quote, "Sources, LeBron James feared, out several weeks with foot injury." Feared? Interesting word choice there, Tony. Who feared this injury? Because I certainly the hell didn't.
Yeah, if anything, I feared LeBron continuing to play so I wouldn't have to hear about him all the time.
Same here, Tony. And you know what's so interesting here? LeBron, he's playing just fine, having a good season and whatever.
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, suddenly, he's chasing the playoffs. Then suddenly Kevin Durant joins the Suns. LeBron's realized he had no shot at a title, and then suddenly he's like, my foot. I can't play.
Yeah, my foot popped. Did you guys hear that? You didn't hear that? My foot totally popped.
And first he said he had a problem with the left foot. Then the doctor said the left foot was okay. Suddenly it was a problem with the right foot.
Yeah, no, it's my right foot.
Has anybody seen the x-ray here? Has anybody looked at his medical records?
Exactly.
Of course not. Because this just reveals the truth about LeBron, doesn't it? Don't be fooled, people. He doesn't want to make the playoffs. The goal for every NBA player these days isn't to win a title. It's to play in as few games as possible.
Relax.
And
that's what they want to do.
These NBA basketball players, they're not playing basketball. They're playing hooky. Isn't that right, Tony?
It just goes to show that the NBA is clearly responsible for so many of society's ills. No wonder employers have so much trouble finding workers. I mean, if a guy getting paid $40, $50 million is allowed to not show up for his job, then why should a guy getting paid $17.50 show up for his? When I see the unemployment stats, yes, I blame Joe Biden first, but LeBron James is a close second.
Another great point, Tony. And, on the subject of people we can't stand, one of them's coming on the line.
Oh, yeah. Let's just get it over with.
Let's just get this over with and bring him on the Fusco Satellite Network.
Fusco Satellite Network.
as we continue our special investigative report on Super Bowl 57, we bring in this guy, the host of the Arash Markazi show, longtime journalist, writer, whatever. Look, just going to be frank here, you know. We really didn't want to bring you on the show again because your last performance was just terrible.
Oh,
you know,
horrible.
The only reason we're bringing you back, to be honest, is because, you know, it really recently came to our attention that you were at Super Bowl 57 days before the game started.
Yep.
Is that true? Did they really let someone of your caliber, low caliber, in?
They did. I got to walk on the field as soon as they put the sod back. I think it was a Tuesday. Tuesday or Wednesday, but I forgot. Yes.
Interesting.
So I assume, given that you seem to be an expert on sod, that you are up to speed on the breaking and shocking developments surrounding Super Bowl 57.
Yes, you know, this is like my favorite story that no one but you guys are talking about.
Exactly.
There you go.
This Sodgate. The Sodgate is very
actually, it's
hold on a second. It's not Sodgate.
It's OverwaterGAte.
Yeah,
OverwaterGate.
OverwaterGate.
That's better and more clever than the thing you just came up with, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But all right, keep going. Yeah, go.
No, I mean, usually there's not this kind of drama between the previous guy who did the sod and the new guy who did the sod. But, you know, the old guy, the sod father, is publicly crapping on the new guy, saying he did a bad job.
So you are familiar with legendary groundskeeper George Toma. I'm very impressed. You're up to speed here.
Yep.
And so we want to get into some details there. You were apparently at the Super Bowl days before the game was played, and you took a photo of the field and tweeted it, but then deleted it. So, you know, what are you trying to hide there? You trying to hide something?
What's really going on here?
I'm not sure why the league thought that was a secret, what the field looked like, but I did take a picture of the field. I posted it, and I was gently reminded that I was not allowed, for whatever reason, to take a picture of the field. Now, listen, this is before the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to put my credential to cover the game at stake for a picture of the field, which
Coward.
I still have the picture, but not knowing that the field would play such a dramatic role in the game.
Well, hold on. Who intimidated you here? I mean, is this Roger Goodell? Is it an angry horde of landscapers? Who comes after you for
was
that?
Was it the guy who waters the grass? Was like, hey,
he turns the hose on you?
delete that picture.
Yeah.
No, it was someone in PR that I think basically told everyone no pictures of the field. So I don't know why we got, we were there to talk to the. Listen, we were there to talk to Toma and the groundskeeper because if you guys remember, they really bragged on the fact that for the past year, here's how we put this field together. You know, we've wheeled it in and wheeled it out, and they really bragged how they spent millions of dollars in over a year making sure this was the best field.
And yeah,
interesting. We're connecting the dots here.
We dug into this, as a journalist, you'll appreciate this. You know that the grass for the field was developed at Oklahoma State University. What's the nearest NFL team to Oklahoma State, Arash?
Take a guess.
Got to be the Cowboys, right?
No, the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs.
You need to learn how to follow a train of thought. But all right, George Toma said the field had a rotten smell. Can you describe the smell to us? What are we talking about? Is it more like a dead fish or more like old underwear?
Or is it like Ben Gay or something?
Yeah,
what
are we talking about?
Listen, the field, when I smelled the field for the first time, when it was first rolled in, wasn't bad. I think Toma was referring to the fact that they put a covering on top of the field, and then Rihanna and the halftime show and the pregame show, like all this stuff was happening on a wet field. So imagine you go for a workout or whatever, and you have a wet T-shirt, and you cover that wet T-shirt. It's going to smell.
This image of you in a wet T-shirt. Hold on.
What are we talking about over here? Let's get back on track here.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Try
Did
it.
it smell? We're talking about
stick to grass. Stick to grass.
Yeah, we're talking about the grass.
Yeah.
You're talking about wet shirts.
Yeah. You're trying to titillate our audience here. What?
Now, was it like rotten eggs? Did you smell rotten eggs?
Yeah. Did you smell? What did you smell? Get to the point.
There was no smell whenever it was first wheeled back in, but the smell grew apparently as the days progressed.
So I'm assuming, were you at the game itself, or you?
I was. Yes.
Oh. What was the smell like there?
It didn't smell great. I don't know what to describe it as. I never smelled anything.
You're only a
like
writer.
that
I wouldn't expect that out of you. Dear Lord. Put 5 words together.
It smelled not good. not a good.
Is that the best we can do here,
We have a
Arash?
real Ernest
We have a real
Hemingway
Pulitzer.
here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Not good. Can you describe this dish to me at a restaurant, Arash? Yeah, it's food you eat. What?
Yeah, it's brown.
Describe the field, Arash.
Yeah.
Give us some vivid description, please.
Smelled rotten. What are you know, if you open up a fridge that you've unplugged and everything's rotten, it didn't smell good.
Tony, tell him your theory. That's what Nick Sirianni, right?
Yeah, during the national anthem, a lot of people looked at Nick Sirianni and thought, wow, he's really crying and emotional because of the national anthem. Now, while he does love this country more than anybody else, we can confirm that he was actually crying because the field smelled so awful.
Yeah.
So were your eyes tearing at all, Arash, during the national anthem?
No, thankfully they put me in the press box, so I had the smell of hot dogs and popcorn. I did not smell the field.
He's coming on here to brag.
You know what? He's not giving us anything here.
Let's keep moving.
Let me ask you a question. Are you covering the NFL or covering for the NFL? I just want to ask
exactly.
you.
No, come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this? How about this?
You know, he's afraid of losing his precious badge. That's what's going on.
That's what he cares about.
There was 2 teams that played on that field, though, right? It wasn't just one team.
No, one is a passing team.
One's a rushing
team.
Yeah,
and that's
it
why
hurts
the
them
Chiefs,
more.
That's why the Chiefs sabotage the field. So they go slip sliding all over the place. You know that.
Exactly.
Come on, use your brain there.
Come on. You kidding? All right.
Yeah.
He's too busy imagining himself in a wet T-shirt. I don't know what. Yeah. I think I'm too busy imagining.
He's struggling to come up with the words, Paulie.
He's struggling to come up with words. Maybe we'll get 4 out of him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look, while we got you here, on our last show, we revealed what that you were a total Lakers homer. You're probably crying in your wet T-shirt. That's why your T-shirt's wet because of the LeBron injury.
All those tears, those LeBron tears.
Come on, listen here. All right, don't you think it's a little suspicious too? LeBron gets injured all of a sudden, right? Put it together. He's playing so well, then suddenly Kevin Durant joins the Suns, and then suddenly he's like, my foot. I
you
can't
guys hear
compete
that?
for a title anymore.
My foot popped, everybody.
Right?
No, listen, I mean, LeBron was having a good season. I thought they could have made the play-in tournament. Who knows at that point?
Maybe they'll make it all the way to the first round.
I mean, my dream was the Lakers to have a Philadelphia season where they got to the finals and then they lost. I mean, that was my dream for the Lakers, but I don't think it was going to happen this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, good one there, Arash.
Good one.
Yeah.
How long you spend writing that one, Arash? Don't you think we as the media have a right to review his personal medical records and just, make sure he's not just resting?
Yeah.
What are you saying? That he's not playing because he's afraid of Kevin Durant?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we're saying.
He knew he was going to lose.
No, he's not afraid of Kevin Durant. Come on now.
No, really?
Afraid of the Suns.
You kidding me?
The West is wide open. This is why I'm so upset that he's not playing right now. I mean, who is he supposed to be afraid of? The Suns? The Sacramento Kings? The Memphis Grizzlies?
Do you know how to read something called NBA standings? They're the 11th seed. Okay?
I said I want them to be the 10th seed. That's all I want.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we've covered a lot of seeds and sods in this show.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Can we just go back to something? Because I'm not over it yet. You said the field smelled rotten. Well, what smells rotten to me is your inability to describe this rotten field, okay?
Yeah.
Can you, for our audience, so they know
just
as a journalist,
think hard,
tell
come
us
up with
what
6
the
words.
field smelled like?
You ever walk into a public restroom? I mean, how would you describe that smell?
You're asking us? You're asking? This guy can't do it, Tony. You know how I describe that smell?
Yeah.
It smells like you on the show.
It smells like your interview.
Guess
what?
Show.
You're off the show.
Yeah.
That's what the field smells like. It smells like this interview talking to you.
Like
You're done.
Show.
You're off the show.
Is he off the line?
Jay, hang up the phone.
We're running short on time here. We haven't even done our sponsor read, so let's just get that in right now. It's time for a word from our good friends at Home Depot. Where do you buy your grass? From a scientific laboratory in Oklahoma? Well, why the f*** you doing that?
Yeah. Home Depot proudly grows all their grass in-house and properly sands it, unlike those fucks who ruin the Super Bowl.
Go to homedepot.com and enter the promo code RUINSUPERBOWL for 1.2% off your first order of $3,000 or more. Offer expires March 1st, 2023. Home Depot. All right, well, that wraps what I thought was a terrific special report, Tony. And
wait.
Oh, no.
Someone we should report for terrible producing. Producer Jay. What? Make it quick.
What do you want?
What? Just go.
Corrections.
Hurry up, go.
You said Michael Jordan never missed a single game.
Yeah, he was a machine.
Unstoppable. Yup.
No, that's not true. And also, when Michael Jordan was LeBron's age and playing for the Wizards, he was out for 22 games that season.
Oh, yeah? Well, you know who's out for you? The hitman I just hired.
Yeah, you're going to be out for eternity. Yeah, you're
good
done.
one, Tony.
No more.
Yeah.
We're done. That's it.
Second. You said you should be able to inspect LeBron's medical records?
Yeah, make sure he's not lying about his injury.
We have a right to know. Yeah.
That would be a HIPAA violation. It's against the law.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to break your HIPAA if you don't shut the up.
Yeah. And you know who's about to get your medical records? The coroner's office.
Oh, great one, Tony.
You're done. We're finished. That's it. No more.
What?
No, last one.
What? Hurry up.
No, look, I looked it up. Arash was right. The Chiefs are not the closest. The Cowboys are the closest. Arrowhead is about a 4.5 hour drive away, while AT&T Stadium is about 4 hours and 10 minutes away. So basically, AT&T is 20 minutes closer.
Oh, yeah? Well, Arrowhead is what they're going to call you after I shoot you with a crossbow.
Yeah, when we're done with you, not even MapQuest will help them find your body. Yeah,
Good
we're
one,
done.
Tony.
Look at him. He's sulking,
Yeah, look at him. His eyes are
Paulie.
as wet as the football
Paulie.
field. Anyway, look at this, Tony. On a high note, just confirmed, next week, our guest, Super Bowl legend Nick Foles, will be joining us. Can't wait for that. Don't forget, sign our petition at change.org. Stand up for justice. Subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on TikTok where we're blowing up. And Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
We'll see you people next week. Bye.
See ya.